So with the Xbox Showcase coming on June 8th, I wanted to share some of the games that I would like to see at the showcase, starting off with Halo. Now, as a huge Halo fan, there's a rumor of Halo Combat Evolved being remastered, and I really need that to be confirmed or denied. Because from what we've seen from the New Dawn trailer when they were announcing that they were having Halo Studios, we were able to get a good look as to what Halo would look like on the Unreal Engine 5, but does that actually mean we're going to be getting a remake of the OG Combat Evolved, or are we just seeing what they were able to prototype for what Unreal Engine 5 could potentially look like for Halo? Because it's also been stated that we have multiple Halo projects in development, so I do need to hear something from Halo Studios as to what it is that they are working on, just to give us something to be looking forward to in the future. Because right now, everything is very hush-hush, everything is like in the dark, and Halo Infinite has just been really stale and doesn't give me any reason to want to go back and really play it all that much. But my other issue with them doing a remake of the original Combat Evolved is we've done this before with Anniversary, and I have multiple ways of being able to play the original Halo, so they're got to give me something that I'm going to be wanting to even want to entertain the idea of playing it for. I don't even know what number we're at this point, but like, I have multiple ways of being able to play it, so you got to add more to this remake if you're going to do a remake. So some ideas that I thought of was adding either some multiplayer maps that got scrapped or missions that have gotten scrapped. Now, these missions would be unlockable, so that way it doesn't pull away from the original campaign, but it adds additional missions that you can unlock to play inside of the campaign to expand the campaign, or they can continue with the terminals like they did in Combat Evolved Anniversary back on the 360. So some ideas out there, but I'm really curious just where Halo is going, and hopefully they'll share some of the information with us on the showcase. Next is Battlefield 6. Now, I know it's a long shot to get any type of information about the next Battlefield, considering this year is when they were telling us about the 4 studios coming together as one, and then the introduction to the Battlefield Labs, which is technically like a private testing for specific focus points of the game, very similar to Halo's test flights that they were doing for MCC when it was coming over to PC and stuff like that. However, it would be really cool to be able to see what they've been working on, some new features, maybe some information about classes, or just different art direction that they're going. But if they can throw a trailer out there, I don't care if it's cinematic, if they could just give us a trailer and top it off with a release date, I'll be super excited, because they've shown some pre-alpha footage, and that has me excited, considering we are returning to more of the more modern Battlefield 3's, Battlefield 4's environments, and that is when I got into Battlefield. I got into Battlefield in Battlefield 3, and I fell in love with the whole entire Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 environments and destruction and weapons and classes and everything like that. And I've played other Battlefields after that, but I still get pulled back to that more modern Battlefield. So I'm excited to see that we're going back into that type of modern setting. So I just need a little bit more information from Battlefield. Next, we have Gears of War Trilogy Collection. Now, this is just pure speculation. I think it would just be cool to add, considering we have Gears of War E-Day, which is my 4th point. If you were able to remaster Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 before E-Day, and then giving people the opportunity of playing the main storyline of Gears of War and E-Day, I think that would be epic. Now, with Gears of War, you have Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is available right now. You can play it on PC, you can play it on Xbox and everything like that, but you can also play Gears of War Original 1, 2, and 3 with the backwards compatibility with Xbox. But then you also have Gears 4 and 5, which is also on Xbox, it's also on PC. So being able to just bring that entire collection to both PC and Xbox and everything, I think would be a smart move, because you got the prequel, which is E-Day, which stands for Emergence Day. And I think being able to give people the ability of having that whole entire franchise available on the platform they want to play on is perfect sense. But that's just my opinion. Next up, I have Perfect Dark. Now, I'm a sucker for sci-fi shooter games, hence why I love Halo and many other sci-fi shooters. But This game in general gives off that Mirror Edge, Splinter Cell vibes. It does not look like it's a remaster, but more of a reimagining of the franchise, and I am definitely all for it. I've watched this trailer from last year over and over and over, and I just get more excited every time I see it. So like, I definitely want to see more of this. I want to see some gameplay, maybe a small mission demo, something, but give me a release date because I'm ready to drop some money for this game. Now this next one is one I feel is on like no one's radar, and that is Mixtape. Mixtape, honestly, for me is going to be more of like my cozy game, because I feel like I'm going to get lost in it. I'm going to revisit the game, especially considering that it is focused around like the 80s and 90s. And as someone who was born in the 80s and had a childhood in the 90s, this game just really does resonate with me, and I definitely want to play it. I want to play it multiple times, and I need a release date for it. So again, it's probably not on a lot of people's radars, but it's on mine. So hopefully I get a little bit of a, like, just a small trailer again, or even just like a release date, just something, just give me something for Mixtape. I think it's going to be a fun game. It also kind of reminds me a little bit more of the Life is Strange type games too. So I'm excited for it. And then the last thing is going to be Xbox's handheld. Now, this is rumored to be developed by Asus, or however you want to say them, Asus, however you want to say their name. I say Asus. Fight me. But this is going to be supposedly developed by them, and if it's anything like Asus ROG's Ally X, then I definitely got some pretty high hypes for it. Now, it's speculated to be coming out in 2027, so if we don't hear anything about it this year, I can understand why they would talk about it next year, because that makes more sense. You don't want to build up hype too early for something, and then it just kind of falls flat when it gets close to that release. But I do like the idea of being able to play my Xbox games, my PC games away from my setup or on the go. So I know there's been a huge boom with like the Steam Deck and all these other type of Android based type of handhelds and everything like that. And in the past we've had like the Vita and the PSP and, you know, all of Nintendo stuff with the DS, the 3DS, SP, Game Boy Color, all that stuff. But it's so interesting to see this crazy boom for it nowadays. And I think Xbox could really have a home run hit with a handheld. Now, with the ROG Ally X currently, it's $800. That's a steep price. So I would love for Xbox to be able to be under that, but I can also understand $800 for the price of this type of device. And you can technically kind of get a general idea of what it would be like to have an Xbox handheld if you had the Ally X, because it gives you 3 months of Game Pass. So if you already use Game Pass, you pretty much have access to your library of games as it is. Now, Xbox could have a whole different type of interface with it to where it allows you to really have that full type of Xbox interface experience and like all your achievements and your friends list and all the other stuff that you normally would see on your home console on the handheld though. So I'm interested to see what that's going to look like in retrospect of the Ally X version of it, but I also want to know what it would be like for Xbox's side of things too, and how they can kind of separate themselves from everybody else on this like Android based type of stuff and cloud gaming and everything like that. So interested to see what they would do, interested on the price point, definitely want some more information on it, but it is very enticing to go and spend the $800 now on the Ally X to get that experience now versus waiting 2 years. But we'll have to wait and see if we get any information on it. Probably not. This is probably a long shot, but I'm curious. But that's everything that I got for my wish list on what I want to see. I'm curious what your wish list is, so let's talk about it in the comment section below, and feel free to share your own opinions on what it is that I'm wanting to see. Would love to be able to talk to you guys about it. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.